Hi, welcome back to the Armenian Museum. I'd like to share another artifact with you today. This one relates to our museum's founder, Haig Manwelian. He was also the founder of the Armenian Assembly as well. Uh, After World War II, they had this book published, Our Boys, and this was published in 1951. It's a listing of many of the Armenians who served in the war. And since then, there are other books such as these, which deal with the veterans of World War II, the greater generation. But Haig, he was a young lawyer. He was very active in the Armenian community, particularly the ARF, AYF. He was the author of the Blue Books that were used for many years as informational textbooks for the ARF. But in 1946, he went down to Washington, and the Navy had just issued a list of all the Navy's, everybody who had served in the Navy and all the casualties. And so he went down to Washington and he copied all the information, went through all of the registers in order to copy the names of all the Armenians who had served in the Navy, the ones that died in combat, the ones that survived. And this is before photocopy machines, mimeograph machines. So he had to do it all by hand, very laboriously. He spent hundreds of hours copying this information because he considered this important to register all of the Armenians who had fought in World War I and World War II. And so, for instance, here's the list of some of the Armenians from Massachusetts who had served, their military serial number and their fate. So this is really interesting information here. So, for instance, in Massachusetts, 3% of the American Army was made up of Armenians from Massachusetts. 3.21% was the casualties. So actually they had casualties a little bit higher rate than the actual membership in the U.S. Navy. And so at a total, there were 10,033 Armenians who served in the Navy during World War II. And so he did this, as a service to his people. And these were in his estate when Haig died, and he left them to the museum. We have many other, we have objects, of course, in the collection. We have books in the collection. But we also have many of these documents that tell the story of the Armenians that are very important in the history of the Armenians in America. And we're very grateful for Haig for creating the museum and for giving us materials such as these for our collections.